I'm Roger Urbaniak with Roger's Outdoor Channel. Today I'm going to try to get you excited and interested in trying out saltwater fishing. And I've been sitting here trying to figure out what's the best way of doing it, in just a few minutes of video that, that I don't get you bored but teach you enough that you'll say, hey, I got to try that. So I've been literally pulling my hair out trying to think of the way to do it, and you can tell I've been working pretty hard because I haven't got a lot of hair left. So, but anyway, you got to try this thing. And this is saltwater fishing. To me, has just been so much fun, and it's just if you just try it, I think that you will just really enjoy it just as much as I have. The easiest way that I figured out to teach you how to get involved in saltwater fishing is to put you in touch with going out on a charter boat of some sort. Either going out with a guide going down a river or up a river or something and fishing for either salmon, bottom fish, walleye, or going out if you go out on this charter boat, they have all the equipment necessary to and all the expertise to take you to the fish, show you what's needed to make them bite, help you take care of the fish in terms of cleaning them, sell you a license, one day a license for $10 on the boat, and you will have a good time. And what I found is, especially if you're out like for bottom fish, for example, and say you take a kid along with you and go bottom fishing, you will come home with so much fish that you probably are going to come close to paying for that trip, just from the amount of fish that you bring home. So it's not as expensive as you think that it will be. Going out on a charter boat for bottom fish, for example, somewhere in $150 to $175, depending on whether you're going a weekend or weekday, whether you just target bottom fish or whether you tie on lingcod or maybe salmon or crab or something as a secondary outing part of your trip. But anyway, $150, $175, and you're going to bring home enough food for the table that you're going to pretty much pay for that. I like fishing out of Westport. The style of fishing that I do is to do what they call mooching. I drop they give me either a whole herring or what they call a plug cut herring with a lead weight attached to it to help me let it down. The captain says, okay, I'll look at my electronics. I see a big school of fish down there at 60 feet. Let your line out. When you get down to 60 feet, start reeling up a little bit and then letting it down again. Keep your bait moving all the time, and because the fish like to see bait movement. What I do myself is I've looked at what injured bait looks like, and I usually get about 3 to 4 times as many bites as everybody else on the boat, because I have studied, that an injured bait fish will lay there kind of stunned for a little while, that it'll pump a little oxygen into its gills and take off, and it'll swim maybe 8 or 10 feet, and then it runs out of gas, and it just sits there and it rests, and then it gathers its energy again, and it swims another 8, 10. So if you can mimic that with the way that you kind of let line out, from your line, you kind of, just 8 feet, stop for a second, another 8 feet, stop for a second, and then when you start reeling it in, reel it in like that, and then stop for, a couple seconds, and then start reeling again. When you're letting down and all of a sudden your line goes slack, you have a fish has probably taken it in its mouth and he's kind of just holding it in his lips. And if you jerk, you're going to jerk it out of its lips, and he will let go of that thing and not chase it anymore. But if you just kind of reel until you feel the fish tighten up on the thing, and then as soon as you feel that the line is now tight, you reel a little bit faster, and just the motion of reeling, no jerking, the motion of reeling will set the hook on that fish. And again, it that will start the fight, and then it's kind of like you will have fun chasing it around the boat, making people move and run and all that kind of stuff. And it's a circus out there, and you will just love it. So, in fact, if you look at some of the videos or the articles that I have attached, you will get a good idea of the amount of enjoyment that you can experience yourself. So, again, look through the links. All of the links, there's so many different kinds of license. If you're 15 or over, you need a license. What the kind of license that you need depends on what you're fishing for, and how much it's going to cost depends on. And it's so complicated that I need to just kind of refer you to the Fish and Wildlife book, and it will tell you the licenses, the fees that are, the seasons that they're open, the kind of gear restrictions that they have, etc., and as well as some of the attachments that I have on the video. So, hopefully I've given you enough information to just say, hey, it's not complicated. Just, call Westport Charters or Deep Sea Charters or something and book a date. And when the salmon are running, I like to fish usually for salmon middle of July to the first part of August. That's when, you'll find that the bulk of the fish are close enough in that the charter boats can locate them fairly regularly. And you can either drive down the same morning. That the boats take off pretty early, 5 to 6 o'clock in the morning. So you can either stay up if you're a night owl and drive down there, or they've got fairly inexpensive motels down there. But in any event, bring a big cooler with you, because you're going to come home with a lot of fish, and you're going to have a good time. And if you see me out there on a boat, don't forget to wave.